Do you guys dislike the white man?
Do we dislike? No, the law says thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. We know the evil he's done. God said he hates them, though. God hates them. We have to work with them. We're on a plane with them coming here. We got to do business with them. But we know the truth.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Sanbonani, Absheni, hello. As you all know, we are here on the Venting Podcast. I've got your special guests today. They're all the way from New York. I would not say their name. I think they should introduce themselves.
She forgot our names.
No, I did not.
What's my name?
Yeah, but I forgot. I forgot, sorry.
I'm Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ.
Shalom, I'm Deacon Malachi of Israel United in Christ.
Okay, welcome to South Africa.
Thank you for
having us.
No, thank you for coming to me. I feel so special right now.
Thank you for having us.
I feel so
we love
special.
your podcast. We heard a lot about it. So we say, hey, then let's go check her out while we're here.
Oh my
See?
gosh, this is
World
so
goes
nice. This is so nice.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you heard a lot about my podcast, so you wanted to come
Yes,
in.
the brothers, they're downstairs, but they
Yeah.
were telling us about you.
Yes.
They said, hey, she'd be great. She got a great podcast.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
let's-
So can you please tell me more about you? Who are you guys? What do you do?
Well, what we do, we're Israel United in Christ. What we do is travel worldwide, teaching the gospel to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And the lost sheep of the house of Israel, believe it or not, are the black people throughout Africa and who have been scattered worldwide in the diaspora. And we have been forgotten in Christianity, in politics, whatever group of thoughts you have. We've been forgotten people. Like, for example, our people that were taken as slaves from Ghana to India. Do you know what they're called today?
No.
Sidis. They're called the Sidis. So many of our people don't even know about that history. That was during the sub-Saharan slave trade. Our people that are in Iran and Iraq are the Afro-Iranians and the Afro-Iraqis. They're never seen, never thought of. No church talks about them at all. So we go around from country to country, state to state, and teach them that they're the Israelites. We are not who we think, or we are not who we've been told we are. Okay, like in Nigeria. That term Nigeria was a white woman put that name on there. In the States, they call us African Americans.
Yes.
That's two hyphenated words. That's not who we are according to God. God says we're the Israelites, and we suffer as a people for breaking his commandments. Christ came. He died on the cross to redeem us. So now we're teaching that, and Christ is black according to the Bible. We can prove everything we're saying now. We prove that in the Bible, and that's our worldwide mission. So now we're in South Africa.
So now in South Africa, are you here? Are you winning souls, or are you?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
So you're here to win souls. Do you think you're gonna win me?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Okay.
I believe so.
You believe so?
After today, you're going to have a whole mindset of the Bible. You're going to look at the Bible different. Well, hopefully, Lord willing.
Tell me more. You believe in the Bible. Are you Christians?
We're Israelites.
You Israelites. What's the difference?
The Bible, well, actually, you're right. When you read Acts 11:26, the disciples were called Christian. The term Christ or Christ is Greek. It means anointed.
Yes.
We are the anointed people. Okay, that's who we are. That's who the Israelites were. The problem is we broke all God's commandments. Now we suffer colonialism, slavery, indoctrination, all of that. We suffer from it now for our disobedience.
When you say we broke God's commandments, is it on the First Testament, or are you referring to the Second Testament?
Both testaments talk about the commandments. Both.
Are you talking about Moses' commandments or God's?
Both. It's the same thing. It's one and the same.
Okay.
One and the same.
How so?
How so? I'll give you an example. Get Deuteronomy 28:15. I'm going to read this. Watch this. Here we go. It's one and the same.
Because we know the 10 commandments for Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he spoke about do not kill, do not.
Yes,
that's in the 10.
Yeah.
Well, watch
So
this.
we're in the book of Deuteronomy 28.
Is it Deuteronomy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come up upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So that was what Moses warned us. Now, this is when we made our exodus from Egypt. We were going to Northeast Africa, Canaan. So this is not in France. It's not in Europe. This is in Africa. Okay. Most people don't even realize that. So he warned us, if you break God's commandments, curses will come upon you. Right? Now let's read some curses. Verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy son and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand.
So you have to ask the question, were our sons and daughters taken from us and given to another people? Yes, it happened to us.
It happened.
Okay. And it said we would have no might in our hand, no military might, no economic might, no political might. That fits us.
Yeah.
Okay. Now watch verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until I have destroyed thee.
Did we have yokes of iron on our neck during slavery? Yes, we had yokes of iron. It said we would serve our enemies, not friends. God says, these are your enemies I'm sending against you for breaking my law.
Who are these people that we're talking about?
Oh, you don't know? Oh, let's think
Who
about.
are these people that we're talking about?
These are your friends. These are your Dutch. These are your British. These are your Americans. These are your English. These are them. You got to think about who took our sons and daughters from South Africa and took them to the Caribbean. It wasn't a spirit that came out of the sky. It was men on ships. Now watch verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
The word Egypt means bondage. It's Greek. It means bondage.
Okay.
Right?
With ships.
With what?
With ships. By the way whereof I speaking unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So who came to South Africa, took shiploads of people and took them to the Caribbean, took them to Europe? Who is this? Who is these enemies? We should know who it is. If we know a little bit of history, you know it was the Dutch, the British, okay? And worldwide, you had America came over here, Spain came over here, the Portuguese came over here, Germany came over here. They all, these Europeans, and not only them, the Arabs too.
Yeah.
During the sub-Saharan slave trade, they came throughout the eastern side and took our people on ships and made them slaves. So God, he tells us, for breaking my commandments, this is what's going to happen to you. And it happened. So people say, how do you know the Bible's a true book? Well, did these curses happen? Yes or no?
They did.
They did. So it means it's a true book.
So are we the ones that broke the commandments?
Yes.
And
we are the descendants of them.
meaning by breaking the commandments, that's why we got to where we are today.
Yes.
That's why we got sold.
Yes. That's why we're in this bad condition that we're in today. Now, Christ he told us something in Matthew 19. Christ, when he came, a black man, by the way, and we can prove that too.
Yeah, we need to get to that. How is
He
it
said
like?
something about salvation. Because we all say, Lord, help us. We're impoverished. We are oppressed. We need a God to save us. Watch what he said. Matthew 19:16.
Matthew 19.
19:16.
New Testament.
Okay.
Behold, one came into him and said, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he answered him, Why call me thou good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
Keep what?
The commandments.
He warned us. He said, keep the commandments. So from Moses to Christ, the same message, keep the commandments.
Yeah.
It's the same message that we've never been taught. No church on earth. Every church is set up by our enemies. Every church out here. Every church. Baptist, Protestant, Catholic, Roman Catholic, Mormon, Islam. They were all set up by the same people that enslaved us. And we listen to them. We listen to them. I'm going to give you another commandment. Okay. I got my brother here and I got yourself here. Read Leviticus 13. Now, this is not to put anybody on the spot, but I'm going to show you a law that God warned us about. Leviticus 13, verse 29.
Now, while you're still at it, you spoke about the commandments.
Yeah.
Before we broke them, were they there? Was the law there by God that this is how we should live or this is what we should do?
Yes, they were
Because
there.
we can't break something we don't know.
Correct. When we came out of Egypt, Moses went up on the mountain. God said, tell the children of Israel A, B, C. He gave a whole list.
Yes, true.
Now, there were 10, but there was more than 10. Because the 10 is just like
It's like a highlight.
a
of
highlight
the
of
topic.
commandments. Right.
Yeah.
So now watch this commandment read this.
Leviticus 13, verse 29. If a man or woman have a plague upon their head or their beards, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in the sight deeper than the skin, and there be any yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scalp, even a leprosy upon the head or beard.
So the Bible says if you have yellow thin hair, that's leprosy. We've never been taught that. In France, you know what they call yellow in France?
No.
Blonde.
Oh.
Blonde.
Yes.
We say blondes have more fun. They're more beautiful.
Yeah.
God says that's leprosy. But we think blonde, like the Dutch, most blonde hair, blonde.
Yes.
We go, oh, that's so beautiful. No. God says that's a plague. It is leprosy. And if any of us had it, we had to be put outside the camp until it went away.
Mm-hmm.
We were like what is it when you're like you got a disease and you cannot be around the people?
Yeah,
you have to go.
You have to be isolated.
Yes, isolated. So that's what God said to do with people amongst us. If we had yellow hair, that's what had to happen. But we're not taught that in church. So many of our women, they blonde their hair. Many of our brothers blind. We think it's so beautiful. God says, no.
No, it's not.
That's not beautiful.
Actually, we do have a church like that in South Africa where they don't even cut their hair.
That's some like a Rasta thing.
Rastafari.
We call it shembe.
Shimbe.
Yeah, shembe.
But you can. The Bible says you can cut your hair. You can trim your hair. It says yellow hair is a plague.
It's
though.
the
yellow
hair.
Yellow.
Okay.
Yellow. Like he got yellow dye in his hair. Yeah, right there. Yellow dye.
Oh, yeah.
God, if not, no, that's dye. But if let's say that came natural on him, he'd have to go. God would say he has to go. He could not be around God's people. So now, watch this. You heard of Moses' sister Miriam, right?
Yes.
Was she black or white? If you had to guess, honestly,
Would say black.
you'd say white. Numbers chapter 12. Everybody
Actually,
says
would
white.
say white because that's what we have in our minds when it comes to the Bible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, so here's the question. I'm going to show you color in the Bible. That is all through the Bible. Read that. Numbers 12 and 1.
This is interesting. I thought I know the Bible, but I guess I was
Numbers
wrong.
chapter 12, verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses.
Actually, jump down to verse 10 to get to the point. I know what you're talking
Okay.
about. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And the cloud departed from of the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam become leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was
It
leprous.
said Miriam became leprous, white as snow. So what was she before? She had to have melanin. You understand? Read on, watch this.
Verse 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not thy sin upon us, whereunto we have foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead.
When your color is gone, God says it's as if you're dead. You're the walking dead. Read it again.
Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he become out of his mother wombs.
So Miriam, her brown melanin was taken from her. They said she looks dead. And Aaron prayed for her, said, Lord, please don't do this to her. But we think it's beautiful today. We get cream
Yeah.
and we want to change, get rid of our black skin.
True.
We're insane. We are mentally insane today. This is the age of Antichrist. This is where we're living. The age of, we think this is Christian. Jesus, no, this is Antichrist. You ever notice in churches, they never talk about slavery?
No.
They never, or even going to the Bible. It's as if we don't exist. Like apartheid never happened here in church. It's like, oh, Jesus, love, love, love. But wait a minute. You did this to us. This happened to us. Let's talk about it. Let's see what God says. No. Just love, love, love. Love everybody. Just love. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they teach us, actually. You just love everybody. They don't teach us about slavery
Right.
and what happened and how
Everywhere.
can we solve that. It's all
Exactly.
about love and forgive.
Everywhere is the same. Here, America, Canada, Europe, it's all the same. So we come to tell our people, read this book. Everything that we went through is in this book prophetically.
But do you think we read the Bible, but we don't interpret it the same?
The interpretation of people, give me that in Isaiah 29:15. I'm going to show you how you interpret it.
Okay. Perfect.
Isaiah 29 and verse 15. I believe that's it. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Get that.
Isaiah 29, verse 15.
Let me look
No,
at
I
it.
said at
Verse,
verse,
13 I want.
verse 13.
13.
Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as these people draw near me with the mouth,
You draw near God with your mouth. Everyone says, I love God. Go ahead.
and with their lips do honor me,
I love Jesus. I honor Jesus. Go ahead.
but have removed their heart far from me,
You don't do nothing this book says.
and their fear towards me is taught by the precept of men.
Your fear towards God is taught by the precepts of men. Which men taught us the Bible? Who taught us the Bible? The same man that enslaved us. It's the same. Who set up the Roman Catholic Church? The same. These are the people that enslaved us. The Dutch, the British, the English. Our slave masters set up these churches, and we flock those churches.
True.
The black ministers over some of those churches go to the white theology schools to learn how to interpret. Then they come back and tell us, Jesus is white and he's all love. Give me 10% of all your money. And we go, praise Jesus. It's a rotating cycle. It's
like
a
they
spell.
blinding us now.
It's a spot. It's witchcraft. It's hypnotism.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, that's what it is. It is the greatest witchcraft on. That's why I said this is the age of Antichrist. Because all our people are like walking zombies. Jesus is white. I love God. God love everybody.
And
Where's
we
that in the
fear
Bible?
this white Jesus.
Yeah. And you ask the people, show me white Jesus in the Bible. They can't do it. Ask the black minister, show me white Jesus in the Bible. They can't do it. Colors all in the Bible. Give me some more.
Let me read you want me to read the call of Christ for you first?
Yes.
Please.
Okay, so we are in the book of Revelation, right? Let's start at verse 11, saying, I'm Alpha and Omega, the first and the last.
Yes.
What they see, write it in a book. So he told John, whatever you see, write it in a book, right? Which is the Bible. We're going to jump to verse 14. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Go ahead.
So white hair, white wool hair. You know what wool is?
Yeah.
What is it?
Is it that's long? Hey, is it that's
No, wool hair is Afro hair.
our hair, the one
Yes.
that we usually the Rasta hey.
Rasta hair, and it's your hair in its natural state is Afro hair.
Okay.
This is Afro hair. He has Afro hair. Everyone here has Afro hair. It's a thick, coarse, textured hair, like a sheep has.
Yes.
It's thick,
Yeah.
not straight, not thin. So Christ had Afro hair. Read on.
Hey, huh?
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass,
This is brass. This is brass right here. Go ahead.
as if they burn in a furnace.
If you burn this, what color would this get?
Isn't it bronze?
What color would it get if I took a match and went
Black.
black? Exactly. It's telling you Christ, not only did he have wool hair, he was black. It's telling you a description of him. You
Is
mean
that the book of Revelation?
Revelation.
You mean no church on earth ever read that?
No.
But they paint a white Jesus and send him through that image throughout the world to the slaves? This is witchcraft. This is Antichrist. We are living in a demonic age. That the only thing that can break the spell off of us is this book, correctly taught. That's the only thing. That's the only. Now let me show you some more. Give me some more color. Because people like to say color is not in the Bible. And I often say, well, if color's not in the Bible, where did you get that white Jesus from?
If color is not in
Right,
the
if the color's
Bible.
not in the Bible. Read
Job
that.
30.
Yeah.
Job 30 verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
See that? My skin is black.
upon.
One day a preacher told me that don't mean skin. I
they
know
try
English.
to twist it.
Yeah, they try to twist it, and that's what they do in the church. They say it doesn't really mean that. It means his emotion. But skin, I know what skin means. Don't play games with me. This is what they do. They hoping people are so stupid. We just fall for it. Give me another one.
Song of Solomon. King Solomon. I am black, but commonly. O ye daughter of Jerusalem.
So King Solomon was the king of Israel. He said, I am black and comely. Comely means good looking, handsome.
Yep.
So he said, I am black. Them people in Israel are not today, those are not the people of this book.
No.
They were set up in 1948 by the League of Nations. Now they call themselves the United Nations. They set them up there. That was a game, okay? That was Antichrist again, fooling us, deceiving us.
So are you saying everything, the way we are interpreting the Bible, we had that mentality of this white man that we need to worship,
Yes.
and the very same man that put us into slavery. And that's why today we just having this.
Yes, yes.
We just
Don't forget. In slavery, one of the things they didn't allow us to do is read and write. So they give us whatever interpretation they want. But today we can read. Today we got no excuse.
true.
Today we can read. So we see when we open the Bible, we actually see the Bible is the black man history, is our history.
Yeah.
The Bible was never meant for the white people to even touch it. They're not even supposed to even touch the Bible because the Bible is not the book. The Bible is our book.
So they took what we had and they twisted
and turned it
it
against us.
according-
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
because they had the power then.
Yes.
We were under slavery.
Yes,
And
exactly.
they set themselves up in the land, in the Holy Land, and said, we're the Jews now.
Let me
That's
read
what
that
they
for you.
That's what they
Let me read that for you. The people over there in the land who call themselves Jews, let me read that for
that's
you.
a good one. I'll read it. Revelation 2:9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So God called them the devil.
Yeah.
Jesus said they are the synagogue of Satan. The people in the land today right now,
Yeah.
God called them the devil. They are the devil the Bible speaks of. Yes, that's what God called them.
That's Jesus
Interesting.
speaking right there. That's Jesus Christ speaking right there.
So where do you think Christianity comes from? Do
The
you think
devil. Christianity is a demon. Let me explain something to you.
Please
You
do.
at home, write this down. Pope Nicholas V, he wrote a papal bull and initiated the transatlantic slave trade. That was the Roman Catholic Church. Every Christian religion comes from the Roman Catholic Church, whether you are Protestant, Baptist, Mormon, Episcopalian, Anglican, they all stem from the Roman Catholic Church, which instituted slavery on our people. They sent the Dutch here. They sent Spain here. They sent the Portuguese here. It was the church. And they enslaved the children of Israel, God's people.
so? Christianity
Yes.
is the devil.
Yes. The doctrine is the.
What is the
demonic.
devil? Is the devil the name of or the way they're doing things?
The way they're doing things. The way they do. Remember, Christ called the Jewish people the devil
The
too.
devil too.
He called them. They're all in cahoots. All these Caucasians that our people. God. Let me ask you a question. Does God, according to you were raised Christian,
Yes, I was born a Christian.
based on what you were taught, does God hate anybody?
No,
No. I'm gonna show you something in Romans chapter 9, verse 13.
God doesn't hate. Are you going to show me that God hates?
You tell me what this means.
God is love. God doesn't.
Romans
God
chapter
doesn't
9,
hate.
verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. We come from Jacob. Our people, Jacob and Esau came from Isaac and Rebekah. When you read Genesis 25, Isaac and Rebekah had fraternal twins. They did not look alike. One was Jacob, one was Esau. Esau came out red, meaning the blood showed through his skin. What group of people, when they stand in the sun, you can see the blood show in their skin? Who's that?
Yeah.
Who is that? You don't know?
No.
You don't know.
No, I don't.
Get
I'd
Genesis
like
25.
to know.
Oh,
I'd
you
like
know.
to know.
You just don't want to say it. I'm going to help you out here.
No.
Watch this. Read that. Genesis 25. Let's get to the point.
Genesis 25, verse 23. You want to get to 23?
Yeah, go ahead.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb,
2 nations are in your womb, Rebecca.
and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
2 manner of people means 2 different types of people shall be separated from you,
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people,
able to endure great hardships.
and the elder shall serve the younger.
So in the kingdom, one of them is destined to be a servant. Go ahead.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were 20 in her wombs.
Twins meaning fraternal. They didn't look alike, remember?
Yeah.
The first come out red, all over like a hairy garment. And they call his name Esau.
So Esau came out red. So now the question is, who is this red people? Right? Is that right? Question?
Is
Now,
it
give
wines?
me
Is
Genesis
it
27.
wines, people?
Well, let's find out. Genesis 27. Let's find out. Now, she said something. She said, white? Watch this. Genesis 27, 38.
38. Genesis 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, Has thou, well, actually, let's
That's
return
it,
to
read.
this. Okay. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father.
So Esau wanted a blessing from his father, Isaac. Go ahead.
And Esau lifted up his voice and wept.
Esau cried.
And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
Your dwelling, your descendants would live on the best places on the earth. That's what it means by the fatness of the earth. They will live the best places. Go ahead.
And of the dew of heaven from above.
The dew of heaven, you know, when the dew comes from heaven, it covers everything. So your descendants would live everywhere they want to go. But how?
Verse 40. And by thy sword shall thou live.
They shall live by the sword. How did they get the best parts of South Africa? Was it by the sword or by love? Did they vote? Did the Dutch and the British vote to take over Cape Town, to take over Johannesburg? How did they get it? By the sword? Sword means war.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes,
I think
that's
they
what
got
it
it, but
means.
not by love.
Right. No, but they got it by violence, by war. That was the blessing on Esau. They would be blessed with the art of war. They could create weapons out of anything and destroy whole colonies, destroy whole nations of people. Now, how did they get to Australia? Did they vote to get in Australia? Did you ever look up that history?
No.
They slaughtered millions of black people in Australia.
Oh my gosh.
How did they get America? Was it through love?
No.
No, they slaughtered millions of North American Indians. That's what they did. That's what the prophecy is saying they would do. Give me Obadiah. I'm going to give you some more about your favorite people, the white folks. Now, we call them white, but they're not really white. Because like that light is white, that light is white.
Yeah.
Nobody really looks like that.
No.
They taught us to call them white because white symbolizes purity, honesty, holiness. So they say call them white. Watch this.
You want to start verse 1?
Yes.
The vision of Obadiah, thus says the Lord God concerning Edom.
Edom is Esau. It's the same people.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Come on.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
Esau, Edom is small among the heathen.
Thou art greatly despised.
They're not liked. Greatly despised mean not liked. Go ahead.
The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwell in the cleft of the rock.
The word Caucasian, you ever heard that word before?
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
From the Bible. Or
No,
are you referring-
history class.
No.
Okay, it means cave dweller. That's
Okay.
what it means. But read on.
Okay.
Whose habitation is high, that sin in his heart. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Those that shall exalt thyself as
Wait,
the
read it
eagle.
again. I didn't understand what you just read.
Though thou shalt exalt thyself as the eagle.
Though you exalt yourself as the eagle, what's the symbol of America?
The symbol, I don't know.
Their symbol. You never seen a U.S. dollar bill?
The one with
It has
the
a bird
skit-
on it. Do you know what the bird
The
symbol?
the eagle.
The eagle.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the symbol of Rome? The eagle. Greece, the eagle. Read. Though you exalt. Read that part again.
Though thou shalt exalt thyself as
No,
the
read it
eagle.
right. Read it right.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nets among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, says the Lord.
So, though you exalt your nest among the stars, who's doing space travel? Who's going to the moon and says the eagle has landed? Who did that? Do you know? Y'all don't know who went to the moon in 1969
Do you know?
and said the eagle has landed? Yes, the Americans. America went to the moon. Huh? They went up there. They sent a shuttle a couple of months ago still to the moon.
Yeah.
But the Bible is prophesying Esau would do that. Okay? So these are more evidence, more bits and pieces of the biblical puzzle.
Now, I want to ask you, in South Africa, most of us, like 90% of us, believe in ancestors. Do you have an idea of ancestors?
Of course, the Bible talks about ancestors.
What does it say about ancestors?
Get Leviticus 26. Now, the ancestors, it talks about, because we often come back. We're going to get straight to the point. Leviticus 26, and let me look. I just got to look for it. And verse 45.
45. But I will for their sake remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord.
So he said he remembered the covenant that he made with our ancestors.
Oh my God.
So it's important that we remember our ancestors. Okay. Very important. So this is why we have to know who we are. We can't go off in a la-la land and like it doesn't matter. It does matter.
It does matter.
Christ said, I come only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You got to know who's Israel. You got to know Israel would go into slavery. They would be colonized and oppressed forever until he returns. That's us. That doesn't fit the Chinese. It doesn't fit the white man. That only fits our people.
Oh, yeah.
We are those people. This is why when we ask Caucasians, we say, hey, why don't you sit down with us and let's go through the text? No, because they'll see our videos and they'll know they cannot debunk this.
Oh.
In order to debunk it, you have to say slavery never happened. It was never proven. Oh, that's a new thing coming out. Slavery was never proven. They said, where are the slave ships? The slave ships are all destroyed now.
Yeah.
Tell me, there are photos of us in chains on slave ships. What are you talking about? Well, it's not been proven that yours, because this is how their new way to try to say that we're not the people of the book. That's the lie they come with. So we know all the tricks of the trade.
Because yes, when you're a Christian, I don't know whether on the other side, but in South Africa, when you're a Christian, you're not allowed to believe in ancestors.
Now, we have to have ancestors, but now here's the problem with ancestors. Give me that in Deuteronomy 18:18. The problem with ancestry is when you, God gave a law. He said, I want you to deal with me. I don't want you to deal with the dead at all. That's where the problem comes in. We want our ancestors to tell us what to do rather than God. It's still the same problem, which was one of the curses that came us was because of that.
So do you think we believe more in our ancestors and
Yes.
refer our messages to them than to God?
Yes, many of our people, they will go to a witch, a seance, and say, tell me what my uncle tells me to do. Well, why don't you listen to what God says? No, I don't want to hear what God says. I want my Uncle Freddie, who died 2 years ago, to tell me. Watch what the Lord says about that.
Deuteronomy 18:18. I will raise them up a prophet from among.
No, not Deuteronomy.
Wait a minute.
What is it? Verse 10. Thank you. I'm sorry.
18:10. There shall not be found among you anyone that make his son or his daughters to pass through the fire.
In order for and sometimes when we wanted our ancestors to speak, we killed our babies. That's what it means. Read that part again.
There shall not be found among you anyone that make his son or his daughters to pass through the fire.
Liberia, the Civil War in Liberia. Have you read up on that?
No, I haven't read upon
Okay,
that.
General Buttnecker, we met him, and he said to speak to the ancestors to really get that spirit, he had to kill babies. Today, the white man has given women an easier way to kill their babies, but it's the same way. What is it called?
Is it an abortion?
Abortion, yes. Kill your babies. It's the same thing. Read it again.
There shall be found among you anyone that make his son or his daughters to pass through the fire, or that use divination, or an observer of times, or enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter, or a familiar spirit, or a wizard, or a necromancer.
Read.
For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord.
See that? He said it's an abomination if you are a witch, necromancer, you go to charms. Like some people go, I'll use this is my charm. My great-grandfather gave me this. It's good luck for me. I have to keep it. That's called a charm.
Yes.
God says, don't deal with that stuff. He said, I want you to deal with me. To this day, people go, no. I don't want to hear what God has to say. I want to know what Uncle Freddie, who died 2 years ago, has to say.
Okay, now, you talking to me, that's who I am. Now, I get to see people's problems. People get to come to me. I pray, yeah. And then I get to communicate and understand whatever that they're going through this way of my ancestral. Now, I want to know, how do I know people's problems? How do I know you had an accident 2016? How do I know that who your name is? For instance, some I would even had to find out when they were born and things like that. How do I know that? Do you think it's God directly telling me all that?
It's a spirit. When you read in the book of Acts, there was a young lady who was able to tell Paul and them, it says she had a spirit of divination on her. So when she was able to see the prophet, she said, these are the men of God come to show us this, that, and the other. And Paul turned and he got annoyed. He said, I want that spirit out of you. And the spirit came from her, and her masters persecuted Paul. It's either Paul or Peter.
Do you think it's a demonic spirit?
Yes.
How is it a demonic spirit if it's telling me something positive about a particular person?
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because it leads you away from the truth of God. It leads you away.
It shifts my focus from God.
Your focus is not on God keeping his law. Your focus is, Uncle Freddie said this, Aunt May said that. And it's never, how can the people get out of captivity? The Spirit never says that. The Spirit will never say to you, go to the Bible. This is the answer. God never does that. It goes, look somewhere else. Look over here. That's what happens. And that's explained in the book of Deuteronomy 13, as a matter of fact. I'm going to show you that because it just popped in my mind. Okay. The Spirit just showed me that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, can you ask something?
Yeah, of course.
I wanted to ask. So when it comes to the Bible, have you you guys done any research? When was the Bible introduced to Africans? And then before it was introduced, how were we living before we got introduced to the Bible? Because we had our own ways on how to live, and we had our own ways on how to do things. In conclusion to that, I personally think that we're trying so hard to fit to the white people that we even want to claim that Jesus is our own. We even want to claim that everything that's written there, it's the way we used to live as blacks. But when you go down to history, it's totally different from what South African used to live like, what maybe Ghana used to live like, and maybe what Zimbabwe used to live like. Because we have our own history on how we used to do things. And it's a totally different thing. And the other thing, if we claim that the Bible, it started by us, the black people, I don't know, maybe you can do a research on that. When was writing introduced to us as black people? Because first, before we got before we were slaves, we didn't know how to write.
You didn't know how to write. We knew how to write.
A lot. We can go down to history.
So your question, are you asking them that when was the Bible introduced and what were we living with before?
That's the first question.
Okay, let them answer that and then.
Yeah.
Okay, number one, black people, when you read about Nimrod, Cush, Noah's 3 sons, they were all black, all of them.
Yeah.
They introduced reading. They introduced writing. They built the great sculptures. Egypt were black. So for this thing, he's trying to say that we were ignorant. We didn't know. I don't know where he's coming from with that. But the next thing, but what we're doing before the Bible was introduced, we just read in Deuteronomy 28. This is when we were in Egypt.
Yeah.
God gave us the law. This was thousands and thousands of years ago. So what he's saying, I don't know what he's talking about, how ignorant we were. I don't know where he's getting this from. We had to read. He told Moses, write this down. Moses was black. They were all black. So he's confusing me. I don't know what he's talking about. Okay. But I've heard this. When I was a Christian, I thought just like that. We were ignorant. We were in trees. We had spears and chucked them and bones in them. We were so ignorant. We were stupid. Yeah. That's what Christianity taught us. This is what I'm hearing from him.
As if now it's our fault that we didn't get that knowledge.
Exactly. This
only
is what
to find out that the knowledge came with us either.
Knowledge was us.
So when Bishop mentioned about how we built and when we was in Egypt, the stuff that we built in Egypt, like we built the
pyramids, the Valley of the Kings.
For example, today, even the white men can tell you they don't even know how the pyramid was built. So with perfect calculation. So if we don't know how to read, how do we were supposed to build it? Think about it, what you just said.
You see, when it comes to the pyramid, when it comes to the pyramid,
do you know why the pyramid's still in Egypt?
Sorry?
Do you know why the pyramid's still in Egypt?
No.
Because the white men cannot remove it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because think about it. They stole everything from Africa except that. That's the only thing they cannot take.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, when it comes to the pyramid, it's a totally different story because even now, even the science we have, it cannot prove how did the people in Egypt build the pyramids. But when it comes to writing, we have evidence in Egypt that we could write back then. But I don't know, maybe we can take it back because I still believe that, man, We're trying so hard to fit in, and then we're trying to even claim the Bible that it's our own. And we have our own ways that we used to live with before the Bible was introduced to us as black.
But if the Bible itself, it speaks about color and it speaks about black color, how are we trying to fit in?
That's us. Yeah, how are we trying to fit in? If it
Because
talks about
already
black?
it talks about black, it talks about us. So how are we trying to fit in?
So do you think, guys, that the white men took the Bible from us and then they portrayed it as their own because they
Yes.
wanted to convince
That's
us
exactly-
otherwise?
That's
That's
what
what
they're
you're saying.
saying.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's what
exactly
they're
what
trying
happened.
to prove, that these people saw what we have and they even took it away from us and changed the whole narrative because they saw that we can do so much about this. So they turned it into another way that we must believe into them.
Let me ask you a
instead of the
question.
Bible
Let
itself.
me ask you a question you got to think about. South Africa. I'm just going to focus on South Africa because that's where we're at now. The apartheid that happened in South Africa, right? How long that was going for?
I think it went for more than 100 years, I think.
More than 100 years, right? During that time, there is certain history that happened. There's certain things that happened.
A lot.
Do you think the white man's going to tell you what happened? Think about it.
We do have evidence of what happened, eh?
You have evidence what happened, but let's think about 200 years from now. For example, if we have that before Christ come back, let's say 200 years from now, I die, you die. Let's say the white man changed certain things, right? Who's going to tell the people that? Nobody's going to tell the people that, right? So how are you going to know what happened? Because you're going to write it in a book,
True.
right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. So what we're telling you, the Bible, the white man cannot change the Bible. That's the only thing the white man cannot change.
But they changed the way we interpret it.
Yes.
Do you,
That's
guys,
exactly.
do you guys dislike the white man?
Do we dislike? No, the law says thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. We know the evil he's done. God said he hates them, though. God hates them. We have to work with them. We're on a plane with them coming here. We got to do business with them. But we know the truth. You understand?
Would you do a business with a white man?
I wouldn't do a business with him because he's going to rob you. He's going to rob you.
Remember in the book of Malachi, God said, I changed not, right? Because today Christians said God changed. In other words, they said Jesus come and change the Old Testament.
Yeah.
But God, in the book of Malachi, God said I changed not, right? So remember in the New Testament we just read, Jacob I love, Esau I hated.
I hate it.
It's also in the Old Testament. So let me read for you something. Let me show you something. Right? Again, the Bible says God changed not. God do not change. God yesterday, today, and forever. Do not change, right?
Yeah.
So now, I'm going to read for you Malachi chapter 1. Let's start at verse. I'm going to start at verse 2. Start at verse 1. The burden of the Lord, of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, says the Lord. So he's talking to the Israelite, us. God said you have loved us, right?
Yeah.
And yet you said, wherein has thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Remember where we read that? We read that in Genesis chapter 25.
Yeah.
Esau was Jacob's brother. Who's Esau?
The one he hated.
Who's Esau?
Jacob's brother.
Who's he
Who's
today?
Esau?
Who's he today?
Who is he today?
It's the white.
Yes,
The
the
so-called
whites.
white man. We are Jacob, right? He said, was not Esau Jacob's brother, says the Lord? Yet I love Jacob and I hate Esau.
Esau.
We ain't hate nobody. That's what God said. God said he hate them. And he said, and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragon of the wilderness. Whereas, I want to read the bottom one. Thus, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus says the Lord of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness.
Yeah.
The people, he didn't say one of them. The people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. God said he hate them forever. He said the people. In other words, God didn't say some of them is good, some of them is bad. He said all of them.
So do you think they'll
That's
ever
what
be,
God said. That's not our word.
Yeah.
You want to get mad at the Bible, not us.
do you think it's bad if we forgive as the new generation and restart our life and say, hey, we are one at the end of the day. Let's just unite and build something new.
Okay, let's talk about forgive. Let's talk about that. Okay, you forgive, right?
Yeah.
Your president, Ramaphosa. He and several others went to Ukraine to broker a deal between Russia and Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Because the price of grain is so high in Africa now.
True.
They stopped him in Poland, took away his entourage, took away the weapons, made them sit there for 24 hours. Humiliating as a government president. Not only that, when Queen Elizabeth died, the African leader said, let's go pay respects because we forgive. When they got there, all the Europeans had a convoy. America, Germany, France, Britain, everybody. The African presidents, get on the bus. Put them, disrespect, spit in your face every time. And you keep talking about, we want to forgive. And they laugh at you at every opportunity. So speaking about grain, you mean Africa cannot grow grain here? You can't grow grain here to feed people?
We can.
So why do you need the Ukraine? What's wrong with our people? You have the richest country on earth. You have all the gold and the diamonds here. Guess what? Your money here, 18 of your dollars is equal to $1 US. Why is that? Who made that up? America, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. They said your money is garbage, but all the resources they get from here. So whose money should be worth more?
Us.
Yes, but it's not like that. Why? Because you want to forgive and love everybody. They spit in your face and laugh and say, ha, 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 ha. What do you got to say to that?
Interesting.
What do you got to say? You have nothing to say, Josh? Where's the other guy? Where'd he go?
He went out.
You guys, Christ said, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. This is what sets us free, the truth. The only thing that liberates the mind. When you're in Christianity and all this other stuff, you're in the cloud of confusion. You don't know if you're coming or going. You don't know what's going on in the world. You don't know what's about to happen. COVID-19 was created by America and China. And then they said, oh, we'll give you vaccines to help you. And it's killing people in America left and right and in Europe. Thank God very few people died here, but they're coming with a new disease to hit here. That's what they're trying to do. We're telling you before it happens. The ones you think are your friends, you better watch out.
And everything that happens, everything that is written in the book of Revelations is currently what's happening.
That's right. Everything. You know, I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you something else. Give me Micah chapter 2. Micah, I'm going to show you something. There's so many prophecies in the Bible that that has now become our history. Watch this. Micah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
So it's talking about people that devise evil on their bed. Watch this.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
They practice the evil. Go ahead.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
This people would have power. Who is this talking about? Read.
And they covet field.
They covet fields.
And take them by violence.
How did they get South Africa? By what?
By war.
Yes. What's the word it used? Use every part again.
And they covered field and take them by violence.
And take them by violence. Go ahead.
And houses.
And
take them away.
So
they oppress a man. And his house.
His heritage, his family.
Even a man and his heritage.
Let's talk about white people did that. They did that to us.
They're still doing it.
They're still doing it. But nobody want to talk about it. Shh. Make like you don't see anything. You know what I'll do to make believe I don't see? I'm going to marry a white woman. That's what our people do. Yeah. We getting rich and famous. I'm going to marry a white woman. That's what they do. Rich slaves.
Don't you think they are afraid of being poor and going back to slavery? Because if they stop worshipping white people, don't you think it will go back to racism and slavery and...
Okay. How about this? Who's the most richest ball player? LeBron James?
Right now, probably LeBron James.
Okay, he's millions, right? Millions of dollars. You can name any of these rappers, any of them. If they quit today, would they be poor?
Nah,
No, they wouldn't be poor. They got enough to live off of
true.
and take care of other people, but they don't do that. They have sold, a lot of them, I ain't saying everybody, but a lot of them have sold their souls to the devil, meaning to white folks. They've sold their souls in contracts and contracts and contracts.
So do you believe there's hell?
The hell that Christianity talks about in the middle of the earth, that's not hell. The hell that the Bible speaks of, the lake of fire, is when Christ returns and those nuclear missiles hit, America will become a lake of fire. America is Babylon the Great. America will be destroyed, according to Revelation 18 and 19. It's going to be destroyed because she's Babylon.
When do you think the Bible was written?
This was written thousands of years ago. Now, the New Testament came about from like the 4th century on.
Yeah.
But the Old Testament was written way before that. That's why all of the New Testament, they reference the Old Testament.
So the Bible talks about a lot. It talks about sex before marriage. It talks about all that. And
We have to obey that.
we have to obey that.
Yes.
But now looking at the young generation, do you think we are breaking the commandments more and more and more?
Yes. Hey, give me sex before marriage. Give me Exodus 21, 16. So the people at home may not know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it 21:16 or 22?
You know, I love the book of Proverbs.
Do you?
I love it.
You're going to find out.
I love the wisdom in it.
22:16.
When I read the book of Proverbs, I gain so much wisdom and knowledge. It talks about respect, and as a woman, how you should respect and at times honor your partner. I think, yeah, it teaches me a lot of that.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Very good. Read that.
Exodus 22:16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed
So if a man entices you and you're not married to anyone
and lie with her,
and have sex with you,
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
that's God's law. He must make you his wife. None of this bouncing around woman to woman, none of that. We've been disobeying this law, okay, for a long time. Now, you mentioned Proverbs.
Yeah.
Watch this. Let me see if you
I understand.
understand this.
Okay.
It just popped in my head.
So what happens? Do you think there's a way of us to cleanse our souls when we have multiple partners?
Yes, you can cleanse your soul, yes. Your body, your soul, yes. Your soul, yes. Meaning going into your mind, you can cleanse that.
Do you believe in being baptized?
Baptized with the word of God, yes. The water is symbolic. It just symbolized a new start. That's all it's symbolic.
okay.
There's no power in that.
Oh, okay.
Read that.
Proverbs 13:13. Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed, but he that fear the commandment shall be rewarded.
What does that mean?
He who
Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed,
shall be destroyed.
but he that fear the commandment shall be rewarded.
So meaning if we don't live according to the commandments or to the word of God, and then we shall be destroyed.
Yes.
And if we live with the word of God, we will be rewarded.
Yes, exactly. If you live with the commandments, keep the
Yeah.
commandments. That is what it's saying. Most of our people, now, the Lord is winking at our ignorance because the true gospel has not been taught to them. But today is your day. You're being taught who you are.
No, it is.
And that
Definitely
we
it's
must
my
keep the
day.
commandments. Okay, you're being taught now. But now, after the people have learned and a spirit of rebellion rises up, I'm not obeying that. That's when that's going to come. That destruction is going to happen. Lord,
So what's your
they've had their
mission?
chance.
What are you planning to have? What are you planning to achieve?
What we're planning to achieve is like Christ said. He said, teach the gospel throughout all the earth, through every nation.
I see you've been going to the streets, you've been preaching the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since you got to South Africa, have you done that?
Yes. The brothers are out there on the street now, up the block, teaching right now. Yes, that is our goal because our people must wake up before destruction comes. War is only going to escalate. It's going to escalate from nation. You see what's going on in Congo, Burkina Faso. There's always a coup that America and France is behind. But these wars seem small, but they grow and they grow, like Ukraine and France. Not Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia is going to grow. And it's going to reach Africa, it's going to reach America, it's going to grow in destruction. And that's when Christ will make his return.
So do you believe that women should always wear dresses and
It's not what I believe. That the Bible says. You get that in Deuteronomy 22:5.
yeah, I'm very much concerned about
There are
that.
many laws for women in the Bible that the churches don't teach. And what America, not just America, but Western society has done was masculinize the woman and he feminized the man. Now they want black male rappers to dress in skirts and to hug and kiss each other. And the women, they already got the women. They got women in trousers, women are what they call butcher. It's already here. Read that.
Deuteronomy 22:5. The woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So there's a clear distinction. When women should not dress as men dress, and neither should men dress as women.
As woman dress.
There's a spirit that comes behind that. Once a man dresses as a woman, a feminine spirit comes on him. Once a woman, like there's an expression, I don't know if y'all have it here in South Africa, but in America, there's an expression. Who wears the pants in the house? You ever heard that?
Yeah.
It's an expression about who dominates the family. And it always points to the woman. She wears the pants because that means she rules the house.
She rules the house.
That's not how God intended it. Okay, when you read Corinthians, for example, 1 Corinthians 11, God gives an order from heaven to earth, how we should be. It starts with himself, and watch what it says. It's very great, fantastic.
So now what happens, based on what you said, what happens when it comes to gays and lesbians? Do you think it's a spirit?
That's a spirit on them, and they must repent of that. Okay, read that.
1 Corinthians 11:3. But I have had you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
See what it says?
Yeah.
The head of Christ is God.
Is God.
The head of man is Christ. The head of
Christ.
the woman is the man. But that bottom part, the man is over the woman. That's nobody teaches that. When you go, the woman is always in the front line. She dominates everything because Western society puts that spirit on black women to lead. Now, I don't know if it's too much. When we were in Uganda, that's in Sierra Leone, that wasn't there. Because they told us, they said, no, man is the head of the house here. But in this Western, the states, the women are the leaders.
They lead.
Yeah, so when we teach what God says, they're one of the first ones, like pit bulls. No, we're the leaders.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
True. That's what happens.
Yeah. All the
what
rap,
happens.
these women and rappers, what's the one that sticks her tongue out? What's that rap with the rapper? You know what I'm talking about?
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
WAP. You heard of WAP and all that. All that promotes promiscuity. Sex. Now, both those women are married. They got husbands and family. But they put the message out to you, women like you, don't get married. Have as much sex as you can. And then when you're 45, 50 and your vagina's dragging the floor and nobody wants you, you're like, what did I do wrong? That's when you listen to these people who are being paid
While
by
they
white
got
people.
married at an early age.
Yes. And that's what white people do. They pay them millions of dollars. Put this message out. Put this message.
I
And
thought I knew the Bible, but after today, I think I should go back and read the
read
Bible.
it. But
Reread
you can't go
with
back to the Christian
understanding.
church. You got to come to us, and we
Oh.
can show you the truth. Y'all got the address to the school here? Oh, it's on the phone? He said it's on my phone. He sent it to me.
Oh, you have a school here.
Yes, it's small. It's a venue.
Okay.
We haven't got a building yet because it's new here in South Africa. We are
okay.
getting one.
Do you find South Africa interesting ever since
very
you got it?
interesting?
Very interesting.
That's the address. You can read it for us.
Eden Vale Community Center van Riebeck Avenue, Johannesburg.
And the phone number right there.
It's 066 075 4417 in South Africa.
Yes, in South
Okay,
Africa.
yeah. This
So
is
we have-
perfect. So it's Edenville Community Center van Riebeck Avenue, Johannesburg, 1609. The cell phone number is 066 075 4417. If any of you guys would like to join their church and have more knowledge, this is where you'd find them
Yes, right.
in South Africa.
Thank you so much. You read that great.
That's very nice. What I've learned today, it's so interesting because I didn't know that God can hate. I still feel like, oh my gosh, no, this is not true. But now that you did read it out, and also what I like about you guys, it's whatever you say, you refer to a certain scripture. It shows that it's not something you woke up and just thought about it. It takes you somewhere to a certain scripture. So I'm very much happy to have you guys.
I'm happy to be here. Now, you mentioned prayer earlier.
Yeah.
About prayer, when you read Proverbs 28:9, watch this. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Meaning God's not hearing those prayers. When you are praying outside of God's law, there are spirits that listen to you, but it's not the God of heaven and earth. It's other spirits that control and guide you. Evil spirits. This is what we're saying. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. God's not hearing it.
Now, when you talk about the commandments, because the book of 1 John chapter 1 verse 1, it talks about the word. As a word comes from the commandments that shows, as he was asking, that he didn't know what way we living with before. So the book of 1 John chapter 1 verse 1, it says, in the beginning it was the word, and the word was with God, and the God was the word. So meaning that's where the commandments came from before we could have all the Moses and every other thing.
Right.
So that's where we initially broke the law from God, which is the commandments.
Yes.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. What does love mean in the Bible? Love.
Love, simply, I think it's based on forgiveness and loving, because it says if somebody slaps you on the right, give them the left. So I believe that it teaches us how to always obey the
remember
rules.
who Christ was talking to? The Israelites, our people. If somebody smacks you on the cheek, turn to the other. That wasn't for Rome. He didn't tell the Israelites, let Rome kill you and just let them kill you. That's not his message. His message was for us to learn to love each other. Now, love.
And the funny part is we don't love each other.
There you go. We don't love each other. And that's planned. It's systematic. It's put out through television, radio, rap music. We rap up. What do we rap about? Sex, violence, hating one another.
Killing, whatnot.
Killing. When you read 2 John verse 6, it explains love. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that, as ye have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it. That's when love is mentioned in the Bible. It's always making reference to God's laws.
Yeah.
That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about, ooh, I want to rub your back. Ooh, I love your hair. It's not talking about that. It's talking about keep God's commandments. That's what it's talking about.
Do you believe in polygamy? Is it scriptural?
Polygamy right now, no. In the kingdom, yes, it will be. In the kingdom.
In the kingdom.
Isaiah 4:1. Read that for her, please. Right now, Christ said, have one wife right now. Why? Because there's so much work to be done. But in the kingdom, because so many of our people is going to die. Zechariah 13:8. But here's about, read this.
Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name.
Read.
To take away our reproach. And in that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel.
So for them that are escaped of Israel, we're not escaped yet. We're still in captivity here. So the polygamy thing cannot take place now. Okay, you have poor brothers trying to get wife. In the States, they do. They call them we call them girlfriends. Over these women. But the law, watch, I'm going to show you something. Here's another law. Deuteronomy 23. I want the one about no whore. Yes.
Okay.
Give me that. Is it Deuteronomy 23:17? All right, thank you.
Deuteronomy 23 verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
If I have sex with a woman and I don't take care of her and I put her to the side and I go to get another woman, what have I made her?
A whore.
A whore. The law says don't do that. But this is what now in America, they're good for that.
Yeah, everywhere. Actually.
Yeah, they have
South
sex with a
Africa.
woman, leave it. Now she's a whore because now she goes to the second man. He has sex with puts her away. Now she goes to the third man. Now she has had 15 men and the vagina is dragging to the ground again. I went back to that.
Yeah.
It's dragging because she's been used and abused. It's like,
And she
stop.
can't remain alone just because the other guy left.
She could.
She could.
She could. But that rarely happens.
Yeah.
Rarely happens. But what I want you to see is that we've not been applying these laws at all. Why? Because rap music, movies put out by white people, they manipulate us. That's what they do. And the church. Don't forget that Christian church. The pastor sleeping with the pretty women in the church.
Oh, yeah, it happens a lot. So
Oh,
we had so many
yes.
cases of that.
Mhm.
It happens a lot.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to wrap it. But before I can wrap it, what message can you give to my people? What is it that you'd like to say to them?
What I would like to say to our people is that we are the 12 tribes of Israel. We have a king whom the world calls Jesus Christ, and he's a black king, and he's coming back to save us. And the white man is the devil.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much. I've learned a lot from this podcast, and I think we should have episode 2 with them. And also, I need to go to New York and learn a lot. And they said the sisters in New York from their church will be able to accommodate me. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you'll go back to scripture and understand it according to the way they explained it. I think I myself, not that I think, I know that I've learned a lot. And please do follow them on YouTube. They also have a YouTube page if you want to know more about them. And you did see their address. It's in Edenville. So there's that number, it's there. I'll also show it on the screen where you can contact them if you have any other questions. They do have a branch in South Africa that they are currently opening. They don't have a church as of yet in South Africa. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for having us.
Stay
Appreciate it.
blessed.
Thank you.
All praise.